Hey, what's up guys? The ranked 16 player in the world has pioneered a way to outplay the entire meta. Most players are using great ground defenses like P.E.K.K.A and Cannon and wimpy anti-air answers like the Doctor. This deck focuses on the skies while listening to the opponent's cries. After playing passive and figuring out your opponent's anti-air answers, you're able to devise a plan. If opponents have range cards like Musketeers or Dark Goblins, you can snipe it with the Miner. Minions, Princesses, and Dark Goblins get pierced by the arrows, while Bats get exterminated by Snowball. And if opponents only have the Doctor and not much elixir, you can snipe it with Miner and spells to surprise them. You just want to make sure they don't pop the ability to catch your Miner and the balloon at the same time. It's high risk, high reward, but if you're crazy enough to do it, it can automatically win you the match. And since P.E.K.K.A, Mega Knight, and Goblin Giant are some of the most popular evolutions in the game, this deck runs Evolve Goblin Cage and Fisherman to eat them up and activate King Tower. It's time for our flying arsenal to instill fear in opponents as we assert dominance. And big balloon love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag, making all the hyper videos possible. Hey, baby foo, what's up, man? We're gonna see what you're gonna do. You have a Heal Spirit and a Mirror in the banner, so the only thing that I could think of running Mirror and Heal Spirit would be like a 3 Musketeers or Sparky deck. And either or of those are really not something that you would ever see in the meta. But he does have Heal Spirit. Wow, he is a man of his word. Or maybe a man of pictures. I don't know. So he's going to cycle Elite Barbarians in the back. So it's making me still think that it's going to be 3 Musketeers or Sparky. Definitely want to go in for a Miner here, so then we can pull the Elite Barbarians and still activate King Tower using our Fisherman directly on the Goblin Giant. So the worst thing you could possibly do in Clash Royale right now is cycling an ability on the tower, because he's going to ignore everything anyway. We're going to get Bats down here, and what the heck? Did we pull the Elite Barbarians to the King Tower without using the Fisherman? I never thought that would be possible. That was miraculously awesome. Wow, that is so cool that this deck has ample ways of pulling off impossible plays. So I can go in for a Miner here on defense like you guys saw, or on offense. It's a man of many shovels. He can shovel his way into offensive or defensive positions. He can shove the opponents out of the game. He can dig him into a dominant position, or he can also just cycle himself into death too. So he is a multifaceted man without a plan. You kind of command him and then he hopes for the best. So he's going to zap there, a little bit aggressive on our opponent's end. I don't necessarily like that on his end at all, because we know what's going to happen here. I can go in for a Goblin Stein. He's going to go for Elite Barbarians on this most likely. I don't think he's going to do anything to defend this unless he goes E-Barbs. And if he does, we'll go Bats. I want him to E-Barb so then I can go in for Goblin Cage to eat the Goblin Giant. Oh, is he going to ignore and spam more? Is that how this guy's going to play? Bro, or are you dead? Are you just gone? Are you gone with the wind? Are you going to let me win? I'm so confused on what this guy is doing right now. You know what? Screw it. Full send. We're going to go Evo Bats with the Miner and the Monster tanking. The double M's out here. It's M&M's. Oh my goodness. Stop the spam at the river, you psycho. Look at this guy. He's dropping a Dark Prince with Elite Barbarians, and he's going to think that's going to work out. Dang. I mean, this deck's defenses are built different. Easy King Tower activations as well. And I want to 3-crown him, to be honest. I think I can do it. We're going to go in for the Goblin Stein right now with the balloon, and we're going to soar to the moon, because all he has is an Electro Wizard, right? We can Miner and predict the Electro Wizard on top of the balloon. Oh, he didn't drop it in the spot I hoped he would. Oh, dang it. Wait. We're still going to 3-crown. We're still 3-crowning. We're full sending the 3-crown here. If you guys didn't know, the Doctor and Monster ability does extra damage to the 3-crown for whatever reason. I don't necessarily understand that, but it is the case in the game. So we're going to go in, pull his stuff back a little bit further. Miner, arrows, Snowball, and 3-crown him. I don't even care if you take a tower, because we're taking all 3 of yours, brother. That is utter dominance and destruction against a Sparky player that is used to doing a lot more than we did. But today, the roles are reversed, and we sliced up each one of his towers individually, bashing his towers with our balloons and crashing down his mental. As we rise up the ranks to 7-7, 8-8 in the world, our auspiciously awesome rank is going to give us good luck for the rest of the day. We got a game against Mr. Nest. Honestly, guys, I feel like if we're playing against someone from a nest and we're running a flying card like a balloon, we're totally in our element. And I'm ready to elevate our balloon's powerful status to the next degree, since we're flying to Finland. So I feel like we should receive some type of bonus. You know, it is Clash Royale's game after all, mixed with some flying. We are totally leveling up our stab move for double effectiveness. If you guys don't know, that is a Pokemon mechanic. I am such a nerd. I'm going to go in for a Miner here, and I'm going to go in for Bats here as well. Hopefully we can maybe go in for arrows, depending on what happens. Yeah, I'm going to snag some arrows value, because if the skeletons stay off my Fisherman... Oh, we're catching a monstrous amount of damage. That is what we call a fish lab, baby. All right, 100% going to snowball that back, so we minimize the damage from the wall breakers, and awesome spot to be in. Let's go, guys. We're finding a little nest egg of value on the left side, and he's trying to collide into me, but it's not working out. I could also go in for a Goblin Stein if he princesses or something, so then I could go and, you know, reset his stuff and be super thick with the Goblin monster, and it knocks back the princess, so then the princess retargets because the Goblin monster is so big. Also, Fisherman, catching us value again. Let's go. Snagging the Miner, Valkyrie. That's 7 elixir from our opponent, 3 for us. So that's a +4 trade. We'll take that all day long. Also, when you cycle the Goblin Stein, you get a 3-card cycle. So we can cycle a lot of balloons and double or triple elixir here. So that'll be fun. We're in a balloon right now off to the side. We're going to immediately try to go for arrows. And then not going to pop the ability because I'm pretty confident he's going to tornado this. So wait, can we mess it up with the Miner and then go bats? If he tries the tornado, we could maybe mess it up a little bit. Okay, that was possibly good and possibly really bad. I'm hoping it works. I'm hoping the balloon just... this is decent. I was hoping the Miner would tank for the bats a little bit longer. It didn't work out as planned, guys. But maybe it gave me a marginal bit of extra damage. You guys let me know down in the comment section. Was it worth it at all? Or was it silly and foolish? Anyway, we're going to make him feel like a fool when we go for our Fisherman. And just wrangle in that Magic Archer. Oh, come on, man. That was not what we wanted. But we can go for skeletons here. Pop an ability as well if we can get anywhere near the tower, please. Yes, sir. I love this game when that works. All right, he's going to NATO, so we're going to go for Goblin Cage on the Magic Archer. Please pull it. Come on. Yoink the Magic Archer. Goblin Cage. No, you're my favorite card right now, Magic Archer, so I guess we can't hurt you. Goblin Cage is not my favorite. It's not meant to be, you know? It is what it is. We're going to go for our bats here. I could never hurt my favorite Sir in Clash as he is trying to bash into us with wall breakers, and we are eventually going to slime him here with our arrows Miner. Dropping an inside Miner placement. If he tornadoes, it is expected, but we should be able to get one silly shovel slap. And we win the game. So really easy match despite your opponent having Bomb Tower Tornado. If you go in for a good monster ability, you can always get chip damage. And if you get a good balloon connection, you could probably just cycle your opponent out with Miner, arrows, and snowball. It's time to obtain big value against this bro. Our strategy right now is just to cycle a Goblin Cage in the middle. It's a standard start. If you're able to do that and get to the evolution, it's decent. If the opponent just lets it go and hang out, a lot of times they're going to have to deal with a Goblin Cage Brawler as well. So there's multiple ways of just filling on this side of the map, going in for bats or Goblin Cage, and then counter pushing with Miner if your opponent spams into you. I don't necessarily mind that either because we got a Goblin Cage connection on the tower, it seems. So really good start for us. Oh, wait. Can we activate King Tower with the Fisherman? Yeah, let's go. It didn't die fast. That's insane. Holy. Bro. All right. I'm going to balloon. I'm not expecting to get much out of this balloon. He might even activate King Tower with the tornado. But seeing that he's got a Golem deck, it's unlikely he's got bats in his deck. And if he's got bats, we got snowball. If he's going to use a more substantial anti-air defense, well, it doesn't really matter to me. If he leaves the Golem by itself, he is not going to be a happy individual. So I'm going to go for Goblin Stein here, and I'm also going to get his Golem eaten alive while our Princess Tower is able to focus on the support card behind the Golem, because the Golem gets sucked in, and then it gives us a beautiful position to hopefully capture the win. Also, one thing that I do have to highlight, a slight misstep on our end, was cycling the ability too soon. Because if you drop the ability too soon, you don't hit all of the Skeleton Dragons. So I got a little bit antsy. I got animated. I had such a fun defense there that I failed on my offense as well. So I don't know if that happens to you guys. You get hyped up. You're like, oh, things are going so well. And then you just randomly drop a card too soon, just in your excitement. Anyway, I'm going to go for a Fisherman here. I'm also going to go Balloon, and I'm going to try to soar to our Miner real soon. Also, I think that cycling the Fisherman here is not a bad decision because I can snowball as well to guarantee that we slow down this Princess Tower and knock the Barbarian as well. And then we can go Miner here. Seeing the Skeleton Dragons out of cycle makes me happy because there's no doubt in my mind that he is going to get destroyed when we get Goblin Stein Balloon in the next push. He's not getting great trades with the Knight there. Sure, you're going to be able to go and kill the Miner, but at best, you're doing like an even trade. So not terrible for us. He gets +2 elixir from the Elixir Collector every time. I would venture that I can go in for a Fisherman on defense, go in for another Miner, and possibly get a fantastic trade here with the Electro Dragon on the wrong side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in for our bats after the Electro Dragon locks onto our tower so that it doesn't chain onto anything important. And then we can maybe make a menacing push with our huge doctor monster combination and balloon. And I think that this game is going to come to a head real soon. Since we should be able to slime him and get that balloon on the tower. Even if you got tornado, all I need is one more hit and we're going to get it. GG, well played, brother. You had an annoying deck, but even if you defend and keep your elixir collectors alive, you're not going to get enough of an elixir advantage to break through. Evolved Goblin Cage and Goblinstein completely counters beatdown pushes, whether it's Electro Giant, Golem, or P.E.K.K.A. This deck's defenses are completely leveled up for ground defenses, so Golem players will hate you. Hey, dude's got the sleeping Electro Dragon. We were able to beat the Electro Dragon Golem player in the last game, so hopefully we can hypnotize this guy to be running the exact same matchup. Okay, never mind. He is ripping off his shirt and saying, Jake, I am not going to conform to anything that you want me to do. Also, I hope that we can shut down the goblins with no damage. As you guys just witnessed, Snowball, even though it doesn't kill the goblins, as long as your opponent doesn't have a way of protecting the goblins, they will still die to the Princess Tower if you time the Snowball at a decent point at all. I go for Bats and Miner here because the Fisherman will force out Elixir by itself. But the bats will just be ignored. So if he goes in for skeletons, look at that. He's going to eat so many fish slaps because of that. Holy. And you can gobble up his monster as well. I like waiting with my cage because sometimes people will get antsy and they'll cycle a bad ability like me. I do it a lot. I know a lot of people that are worse at the game will end up just being like, hey, I want value and I want it now because Goblinstein is the best card in the game in my opinion. So everyone's just like spamming it viciously trying to get value because people are, especially pros, are like, it's impossible to not get value from it. But trust me, it is possible to suck with the card and like throw elixir down the drain. All right, he's cycling a cannon, which is interesting because if you drop that, you're not going to have it in cycle now to counter the balloon. And you also don't have Dark Goblin. So those are the two best mechanisms of shutting down our spam. Also, we can still conveniently stop your goblins and knock them back there. Also, I think it's ideal for me to not go in for a miner because he'll just pop the ability. Instead, I'll go arrows because we're able to hit the Dark Goblin, hopefully finish off the Doctor a little bit quicker, and put ourselves in a position where we're at least going to get death damage on the Doctor and make him consider not popping the ability. Okay, he popped the ability. I was like, haha, maybe he won't do that because he'll think that I'm going to go and kill the Doctor and he'll waste his 2 elixir, but he didn't do that, so unfortunate. Probably Princess me. When he does, we'll go for Bats again and we'll get to the Bats evolution after that. We can also go Goblin Cage just to play passive in this situation so we have double small spells. It's nice because as long as we're able to kill the princesses and the Dark Goblins, then there's really not much room for this guy to be able to defend us. I think it's in my best interest to go Fisherman here so we can go and snipe the Dark Goblin, make the prediction on that, and then also kill the Princess with the Miner. So we're shutting down both of his anti-air responses. The other thing that I love about the Goblinstein is it's another bait answer because you can just pop the ability whenever you want. Snowball should be timed well so we don't take any extra damage. We're going to go in for arrows on the Dark Goblin. We're going to conveniently counter everything with the cage and also stop the Princess, which is insanely valuable for me. So I think I might be able to use the Goblin Cage Brawler for a big push. That's, I think, my favorite thing to do with this stack. We're going to snowball so we can guarantee stop the Goblin Barrel. So we're going to put him in a more precarious position where he's not going to have that much of an advantage anymore. And if he's going to try to go in again, we're just going to evolve Bats with the Goblin Cage Brawler and the Balloon. He is so messed up right now. Holy, that was easy. So if you always play rock solid defense, it'll aggravate the opponent to the point that they're just going to slam more cards on offense into you and overcommit just once because they're just going to be frustrated. Because they'll be so angry that they're not getting damage and they'll make a suboptimal play, giving you a way to slay and seize their tower immediately. Playing patient and countering the Goblin Barrel for a +1 elixir trade was subtly the secret to success. After we devoured his Goblinstein with our evolved Goblin Cage and countered his Goblin Barrel with a Snowball, we were up elixir with a Goblin Cage Brawler counter pushing, threw a balloon down, and there was nothing he could do to stop us. He didn't have the elixir or the cost efficiency to pop our push. All right, it's time to instill fear into Fair. And this guy's a part of the Starfire clan, so maybe he's gonna have a fireball or something, but he is packing an ice spirit, so I guess he's going against his element. I'm definitely gonna have to go in for a Goblin Cage a little bit later because I didn't want him to use the ice spirit on the Bats and the Goblin Cage Brawler at the same time. I was just like, you know what? Maybe we're able to make a push here with the Bats behind the Goblin Cage Brawler too, but that didn't work out. We are going to be able to activate King Tower though, so that's going to be very fortunate for me. Instead of arrowing, I think it's better for me to go in for a Fisherman here and soak up the Firecracker shot and then arrows afterwards. So then we can still collect enough damage on the Ice Spirit to finish it off with the arrows and venture to finish off all of his other cards there too. Fortunately for us, we have a huge ability here on the right side. This is going to do so much freaking damage. Why did he let that go? He went all in on the left and just left his tower in the right in shambles. So as you can see, the doctor dies, but it still delivers that extra little zappy shockwave to him. So since we've done so much damage in the right and we haven't taken any damage in the right, I feel compelled to just eat the firecracker. And also noticing that he's running a hog rider or cycle deck, most of the time they're going to be going in for a building right here. So we're going to predict that with our miner and see if we can capture it. Unfortunate. Oh, that's... Wait. Okay, I was going to say if that went on the tower, that would have been insane. There's like no shot. But in the later stages of the game, we can still make this happen. We go for a really low goblin cage placement, and then we're also going to go in for a fisherman, so it should pull the hog rider. We got double pulls out here, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed, but goblin cage pulls, fisherman pulls, and we're pulling off miraculous positive elixir trades. This is going to force out more elixir as well with the fisherman, and probably a firecracker if I'm honest with y'all. So I want to go Goblin Stein so we can get him to Inferno Tower that so he doesn't have the Inferno Tower for the balloon, and we can arrows on the firecracker, so that's going to be our strategy here. Arrowing on the firecracker every chance we get. Ooh, that was close to not hitting. I could drop an ability here. I don't know if it's worth it because the knight will kill this, but we will get a couple zap. Oh, we only got one zap. That was not worth. I resend that elixir. I repent for my sins. That was awful. All right, we're going to go bats here. And then we're going to go Goblin Cage a little bit later. And Snowball to knock everything back and hit the skeletons as well. So overall, decent defense, and we don't take any damage. So I guess way better. What happened to the firecracker? What? Is that going to die to a bat? There's no way. All right. That was kind of crazy that the firecracker whiffed the bats like that and hit nothing. Sometimes it's good when it hits nothing because then it will hit the tower and then you're like, why did it just shoot at nothing and hit my tower? But in that situation, it was the exact opposite. So we're going to go Goblin Cage again. I don't think that the Ice Spirit would have delayed us, but I just don't want to like take any chances here. I'm also going to go for Miner plus Bats to finish off the game, hopefully. I just think it's a more standard way of getting damage every time. What is he doing? This guy is cooking like a crazy person. So definitely a position for us to go in for a fisherman here and then hopefully deny most of the damage that he can get with the firecracker by arrowing it. That's the only scary thing here is the firecracker doing an insane damage. If he can't get that through, there's not much he can do. We're going to go balloon off to the side. We're going to go in for another miner. And then I think we can go in for a fisherman again in the middle. Ideally, the fisherman just pulls the hog rider, and then we can arrows and snowball our way to success. So y'all notice that I didn't drop something directly down the middle. I was like, yeah, the hog rider will deal damage, but eventually my fisherman will yoink it off the tower and stop him from sucking our blood. Meanwhile, our vampire bats and menacing monster got monstrous value the entire match. After that loss, Lewis is gonna fear balloon cycle. Bump the like button with a balloon if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe for more daily content, and have an amazing rest of your day.